Hey guys, Sarah here. I got a request on one of my Facebook groups in the MAMBI, one of the MAMBI groups. They wanted to know how I made this cover here for that Happy Planner. So this is what it looks like all the way around, and it actually covers the front here. So I'll open this up and show you. It's like a flap. So there's actually a couple ways you can do this. You can either just have the, you can have it look like this, where you have this flap and the front page, or you take this off and I'm gonna untie this off camera, hold on, because this is really tricky. There we go. Okay. So, back in frame here, we can take these out like this. Flip this guy over. And then, if you punch little holes like this, sorry if you hear my cat in the background, I don't know what she's doing. Like that, you can flip it over, and you can do that too. So, if we can, there we go. So, a couple different options. Either way, it is 2 pieces. So, apparently these sell on Etsy. I don't know how much for. I've never looked for them, but I'm going to show you how to do it today. And all you're going to need is, get this out of the way here, one of these dollar accordion files from Target, good old pair of scissors. I found that a Sharpie pen works best, and then you can use a current back cover. I just happen to have an extra one just for tracing purposes. So here we go. So from having done this previously, I found the easiest way to start this is when you open this up, see this thin strip right here? You're going to want to cut right on the, there's a bunch of lines you'll see. I don't know if you can see them in the camera here. The perforation, or the folded lines here. You want to go right in this crease right here, the very bottom one. And you just want to cut in about 3/4 to an inch, just so you surpass this little guy right here. And you want to do that on both sides. So let's see. Just like that. Okay, now, having done this once before, I'm figuring out that it's actually easier if you, sorry guys, this is, doing this on camera is awkward. If you cut just right along, see this dip here, you just go ahead and cut straight down that way. This does not have to be a perfect cut by any means. We're going to go in and perfect it later. So, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. This is weird. I didn't notice it has this little dip thing, and I don't think the other one had that. That's weird. Oh well, we'll make it work. Oh, there's another one. Let's see if this one has it. Oh, it does. That must be a new thing, because I've never noticed that before. Oh well. Let's see. Okay, so continue cutting. Oops. Not have my hand block the shot. That would be awesome. Okay. Try not to get any of these guys in here, the plasticky things. Not that it matters, it just makes your cutting a little bit easier. So, and then just meet up your cuts here. There's one side. Sorry guys if I keep going in and out of frame. This is my first video, so I'm not used to the mechanics of all this yet. Okay, so this is a hot mess right now. Okay. There we go. Yay, okay. So now you're left with, like, these are the guts parts. I'm sure you could do something with these, I don't know what, but you can discard them if you don't want anything, if you don't want to do anything specific with them. So right now I'm going to take out this little elastic band thing, and all you do, if you've never used one of these before, is zoom in and show you what we're looking at here. Okay. So not wanting to focus, of course. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it. It's a little blurry, but it's got like a divot in the side where you can lay the elastic part down so it's flat. And that is how it slides back through here. So pretty easy to figure out even if you did not see what I was doing there. So, zoom back out. Okay, so now you have this flat, big long flat piece here. Okay, we'll put this to the side. Now what I did was I cut on, again, see how there's the scored lines? That's what I was looking for earlier. I'm going to cut on this inner one right here of the front facing flap. I'm going to cut on the very last one. Okay. So this is going to be equivalent to this part. This is the front part that goes over your planner. So what I did, I mean I could use this as a template, but this is your first time doing this, you're not going to have that. So I just took this, like so, and I tried to make it evenly spaced on top and bottom. It's hard for me to see. Let's a little bit out of frame here. Okay. I tried to make it evenly spaced on the top and the bottom, and I lined this up, this edge, the clear edge up with the last score in here, so that if you're folding it over, you won't run into any issues. So then I took my Sharpie pen here, and I went around, and I didn't go in each of those little arc cuts, but I'll show you what I do in just a second. So this is so awkward. Okay. Oh, I totally just moved that. Okay. And then go around here, and I'm not gonna draw a line up there because I know where I want to cut. So, oh, I was supposed to show you this. So basically what I do is I just go shoop, 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 shoop. I forgot to tell you guys that you will need a single hole punch if you don't have an arc punch, and I do not have an arc punch, so I need to get one of those, but for now this will work. as you can see, I just used regular hole punch. So, okay. So now we have this. I prefer the pen just because it leaves a finer line, so if you use a big old Sharpie, then it might show later, you know, if you don't end up cutting the marker line off. Actually, what I'm gonna do here is line up this line. Oh, okay. Like so. Like that, and then I'm just gonna do that on the other side here. Okay. Again, these don't have to be super perfect, but you know, they'll work. Okay, so then you just cut along here. And then that's an ugly line. I did not draw that very straight. It's okay. You get the point. Okay, like so. And then now we just have this line here. And I forgot that I would need to bring down the hole punch, so I'll be right back with that. Okay, so just good old regular hole punch. Got it at the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to line up, you can kind of see the top curve of that hole punch, and you want to line it up with the little arc there. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and do all 9 of these. You could wait and save all the hole punching for the very end if you wanted to do that, but here, I'll just do it while I'm here. Okay, so there's that. Now, once you have all your holes punched, you want to go through and make your slits. So whoops, that one's big. And sometimes, like, when I cut stuff for my happy planner, the like one hole will be a little bit higher than the other ones. And what I like about the arc system is you can't even really notice it. Like, I've punched a couple things and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if that's gonna fit funny, and it never does. So that system seems to be pretty forgiving in that sense, which is good because I'm not a graceful individual. So okay, now we've got all those, and the corners are rounded on this planner, so you can either just do, you know, take a corner rounder to it if you have one, or you can manually do it yourself. I just kind of do, let's see if it can, this will show up on camera here. I just kind of make diagonal cuts until I get to the semblance of a round edge here. Okay, so we now have the top cover And you're actually going, you may think, well, that goes all the way to the edge there, but it doesn't. So here, I'll show you. Once you put this on, oh, that's really cute with the pink rings too. Like this. See, it doesn't go quite to the edge, and you can actually, you could cut this further back so you have less of a gap or an overhang here, or so it'll sit farther back this way, but that's totally up to you. I'm just using these lines as easy markers. So, anywho, oh, I guess we could leave that on while we do the next part here. Okay. I will put this off to the side. So now I'm going to take this part of the accordion file, and we're going to be making the front section here of this one. So this part, you want to make sure you have the little hole punches where the elastic band goes through on the side where you're going to put your arc punches, I guess. So I just tried to center this guy on here like so. This is a way longer video than I thought. I told everybody on Facebook that this only took me 10 minutes to do, which it did, I guess. I wasn't trying to account for a camera and tripod or walking anybody through it. So we're almost done though. This is the easy part. Okay. So then, pretty self-explanatory to cut this out, but I forgot. I always forget to do the arches. Let's see. Okay. Line this up. Okay, now we're ready. Oh, sorry guys, get a little crazy with my camera here. Whew. All right, we're good. So then we're just gonna cut this guy out. These are like super cheapy scissors that we just have in the kitchen. So I'm sure if you had some better scissors, that this might work a little better. It's just my guess. You know, most dudes don't really know how to use scissors in the sense that they will use craft scissors to cut, you know, meat or food or industrial materials. So any scissors within reach of a guy probably will get dull quick. So I was using my little tiny sewing scissors upstairs and I just zipped right through it. So, but I only use those for very specific things. And I make sure and try and, you know, keep them clean and gunk free if I cut something with that's sticky. So anyway, just rounding the corners there, and then I'm going to go through and punch these holes. So I've got a bunch of hole punches in there. Empty that out a little bit. Okay, then we're going to do These hole punches do take some hand strength, so if you maybe have arthritis in your hand, or your hands aren't very strong, you might want to get somebody to do this for you. Okay, so now we're just going to go through and 1, 2, see, that should not be that difficult. These scissors are just dull. 3, okay, whew. Now essentially you are done. So the last step would be to take your elastic band and then thread it through. So you want the metal pieces to be in the back here, like so. And then you actually have to tie this together. If you have an old elastic hair tie, that's one of the thinner ones, you can probably use that too. Oops. Oh, come on. Not wanting to cooperate. Okay. So, I'm just going to take my plana here and line these up like so. Close that, and voila, it is that easy, you guys. So for $1 and about 10 minutes, you've made the planner cover. Now keep in mind, this is not going to cover this area here. These are exposed still, but this does leave an overhang, so it's not anything that, you know, if it falls on the ground, it's not directly hitting that paper. So just a nice, sleek, cute, easy cover for your happy planner. So alrighty, I think that's it. Oh, actually one more thing. So remember in the beginning of the video I showed you there was a couple of ways that you can do this. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to do the same thing with this one, but I showed you that there was, you could take off this one and just have it like this. So if you wanted to do that, you would actually have to take 1/8 hole punch, like I did here on this. It's the same concept, and I basically just eyeballed it on how far, like, I don't know, I put it in not too far, so this is like, what, 1/4 of an inch, between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch in, and did that. So let's say, take this off, put this guy on. Fold this over like so, and then reach up and over. So again, this is another option. If you don't want to do the whole enchilada, you just maybe want some coverage to protect your dividers. If you have a happy planner that does not have laminated dividers, that is a good option for you. So anyway, hope this helped. Try it out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and ask me. Thanks for watching.